For years, I've lived about a 10-minute stroll from Venice Beach, a hotbed for activities such as yoga, meditation, and surfing. Unlike the first two practices, surfing has utterly eluded me. I'm embarrassed to admit that I've only been surfing a few times. Surfing has made frequent appearances on my New Year's resolution lists over the past decade. But I just haven't been a fan of activities that involve swimming in freezing cold, murky, not to mention sharky waters. Plus, to me, it doesn't seem like an easy sport for most beginners. I would need to seek the guidance of someone with the patience of Job to show me the ropes. However warped my ideas about surfing are, it is a revered activity in this part of the world, practically a religion. If I were to walk around my neighborhood complaining about how surfing sucks, mainly because I'm not that good at it, I would certainly make some enemies pretty quickly. The number of people I know who simply love surfing are too many to count. Several even consider surfing to be their daily meditation, and they never stop trying to coerce me to join them one morning in their saltwater sanctuary. But I still haven't invested the time and energy to learn how to do it properly, so for me, surfing isn't fun. Deep down, I know I'm being stubborn and ignorant, but I also respect the fact that there's more to surfing than giving it a handful of half-hearted tries. I don't assume that surfing is mainly about showing up at a beach with a wetsuit and a surfboard. Any experienced surfer will tell you that there's a lot more to it than that. For starters, don't you also need to know how long a board to use, depending on your height and experience level, and how thick a wetsuit to wear in relation to the water temperature, and how to carry the board into the water so a wave doesn't cause it to flip up and crack your head open, and how to hop on the board properly and paddle out beyond the break without wearing yourself out before you even get started, and how to turn properly, and where to sit on the board so you're prepared to catch a wave, how to pop up, and, most important, what to do if you have to pee in the middle of a set. Spoiler alert, you go in your suit. Maybe that's the real reason I haven't started surfing. The point is, if you don't know all of these little details and finer points, surfing is going to be a very miserable experience indeed. And like me, you'll probably never enjoy it enough to make it a daily ritual. Many people have had a similar experience with meditation because, as I did in my first few years, they figured at the outset that meditating is about sitting on a cushion, closing your eyes, and paying attention to your breathing. Voila, you look the part, so now you're meditating. In other words, they started meditating without properly understanding the ins and outs of the practice. How to position your body for best results. How long to sit for. How long is too short? How long is too long? How to handle your busy mind. What to do if you fall asleep. What if the dog jumps up on your lap? Or the doorbell rings? What happens if you have to pee in the middle of meditation? Don't worry, it's not like surfing. What does it mean if you start crying in meditation? Or if you begin feeling depressed? Or if your body heats up? What's the most effective way to time your meditations? How do you track progress? How do you know when you're trying too hard? How do you inspire others to join you in meditation without causing them to run in the opposite direction? If you don't know the answers to these questions, even a basic meditation practice is going to feel pretty miserable. And like me with surfing and with my initial experiences with meditation, you will ignorantly conclude that you are incapable of meditating with success. But all it really means is that no one has shown you the inner workings of meditation until now. As you'll see, with a combination of knowledge and practice, you will become like my surfing enthusiast friends, waking up at the crack of dawn excited to sit for your meditation, not just because it's good for you, but because you'll finally know what you're doing. And that makes the experience so much more beneficial, enjoyable, and fun. And my prediction is you'll want all of your friends to join you as well. They say misery loves company. Well, bliss does too. And the more blissful you feel from the inside out, the more you'll want to share with others the daily practice that is the source of your inner happiness. Best of all, you no longer have to make other non-meditation activities your substitute for meditation. For you, meditation will be your meditation. You can think of the fundamentals we're about to explore as being a bit like the lessons you would receive at surfing school. The 1 or 2 times I took surfing lessons, they first had us practice paddling and popping up on the board while lying in the sand. Only after we mastered the sand exercises did we set foot in the water. In the same way, you have first got to understand the mechanical underpinnings of meditation. So let's dive right in. Sitting comfortably is the first step in the easy approach.